Hi guys, my name is Brian Leni of JuniorStockReview.com. Welcome to day 2 of the Metals Investors Forum. I have with me Ivan Fairhall, CEO of Mawson Gold. Ivan, it's great to have you. We've had a good day so far. Can you start off with an introduction for the people watching?
Sure, yeah. Look, and thanks for inviting us along. It's great to be here and around other great companies which you've sort of put your mind to and you believe are good investment opportunities. So introduction, my name's Ivan Fairhall. I'm the CEO of Mawson Gold. We're listed on the TSX. We have a precious and strategic metals assets in our portfolio and it ranges from a very strong exploration and development project in Finland called Rajapalot. We have about 1 million ounces gold equivalent. We've just taken that to a PEA. And we also have, in addition to some other exploration properties, a very large investment in a company that we spun out called Southern Cross Gold, which is an ASX listed company. And we own 51% of that, and they're exploring the Victorian goldfields. And that stake is worth about our market cap, so it's a significant piece of value in our portfolio.
Excellent. Let's start in Finland. I think Finland is one of the best jurisdictions of the world for mining. But why don't you share with us why you think it's such a great place to be a miner?
Yeah, fantastic. Finland is a fantastic place to be doing business in terms of, it's a tier 1 jurisdiction. It's one of the happiest places on earth. It's got one of the Fraser Institute's highest investment attractiveness index. It's a very safe jurisdiction, and the rule of law is honoured, almost to a fault. It's a great. The security of tenure is, off the dial, and so it's a very safe position to be in. We've got a team there that are highly educated and highly skilled and motivated. So they're fantastic people to work with. And it's an area where there's a lot of huge exploration opportunity. So it's a very prospective part of the world to be in. It's relatively underexplored. And there's been some fantastic discoveries there recently. I mean, a lot of people who follow this space would be very aware of the Rupert Resources discovery.
Absolutely.
And that's reminded everyone of the scale of the opportunity. They went and found 4 million ounces in 18 months, and they're a couple of Ks from a historic operating mine. It was just sitting there just below a thin layer of till. And the truth is, in that part of the world, that there's 14 operating metals mines in Finland, including Agnico Eagle's. They run the largest gold mine in the EU at Kittilä, and that asset started with 2 million ounces and went to 10 million ounces. Yeah. So there's an area that keeps delivering, but it's all covered in till. And of the operating mines, they all sit on outcrop. Yeah. So are they the only mines in the country? You just got to go and find them, and it does take a specific set of skills and a systematic exploration program to find them. That there's huge opportunities there in these land packages. So a very prospective part of the world to be doing business.
Yeah, absolutely. Rupert's and a number of other companies, their results have definitely attracted a lot of attention. And really, it's what excites me about you guys. You've got baseline value in Rajapalot, which you've identified in your PEA, but there's also exploration upside in a very large land package. But first, can you take us through some of the highlights from the PEA and then kind of where you're going with exploration in the months ahead?
Sure, yeah. The PEA was a chance for us to just articulate the value of what we had already found. It didn't represent the end of our exploration story. A lot of companies, and to be critical a little bit, I'd say, like, a lot of these companies are run by geologists and their preference is to explore. And they say, all right, well, we found what we were going to find, and well, what's it worth? Yeah. And that's just not how I think about the world, and not we as a company. We wanted to understand the value of what we got, and it creates a mandate to go and find more. But in terms of, what is that value of what we've already found already? It's the way we've scoped the project. We scoped it relatively short life, about 9 years, because we know there's a lot more to find, and I'll come back onto that. But producing 92,000 ounces a year of gold equivalent, so it's about 8% of that represents cobalt. So cobalt concentrate, but the all-in sustaining costs for the gold are $824 an ounce, and that was probably, if there was one number out of the PEA that I think is important for people to understand, it's the cash costs, and it was a lot of the motivation for doing the PEA. Explaining that this is a very low-cost part of the world, and it's a low-cost deposit because it's got fantastic metallurgy, so you get excellent recoveries. It's got thick mining horizons with very productive mining conditions, which drive low costs. You've got cheap power because we connect directly to a hydroelectric power station. Literally, that's our nearest grid connection, and low taxes. And so you bring all of those things together, and you get low operating costs, and that's what makes these projects really work. So that's what we wanted to get the message out. Like, we've already found a mine, is how I would characterize the PEA. And now as we continue to explore, we're adding value to something that already works.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely the baseline value in the company there, and it still, your market cap compared to that value is still undervalued. And so let's talk about that second part to it, and basically what investors are getting for free. And this is your spin out into Southern Cross. Can you tell us about that 51% ownership there and what that looks like?
Yeah. So Mawson acquired some projects in Australia in March of 2020. We put about $6 million into those projects and made a fantastic discovery down in the Victorian Goldfields, which is home to Fosterville and Costerfield, and they're some of the highest grade gold mines on earth. And we weren't getting, that value was not being reflected in Mawson's share price. And so we said, well, there's a market. These are great assets, and there's a market for these. So let's spin them out, and we'll put a dedicated strategy around it and capital that's directed specifically to that project. And it's been an overwhelming success. It continued on from a great discovery that Mawson made. There's been in total now about $25 million raised into that company, and we now have ended up with a 51% ownership of that business. And it was the third best IPO on the AISX in 2022. So that just gives you an idea of the quality there, and investors are really paying attention. And so that stake is now a very, very valuable part of Mawson's portfolio, and the opportunity in Mawson's share price is to surface the value across this portfolio. We've got basically everything's trading at a deep discount. It's not one asset's worth X and the other one's worth zero. It's everything trading at a deep discount to any reasonable value. And the thing about it is, like, we're not just got an exploration project that we say, oh, it's worth something because here's some comparables. The price is what someone's prepared to pay.
Sure.
And every day down in Australia, people are paying 70 odd cents for Southern Cross, and that represents our share of that is being represented at sort of $60-70 million. So that's great. And then the PEA was also about defining the value. Yeah. And how do we now look to surface the value across the portfolio and get closer to reasonable valuations for these assets at their respective stages.
Excellent. Well, to me, guys, the value proposition in investing in Mawson Gold is pretty clear. We've highlighted where the baseline value is seen in Finland, and you've got some definitely exploration upside in Southern Cross. I think it's well worth people's due diligence to spend some more time on it. Thank you very much.